And we are live. Little something out there for all the Heathen Squad fans in the house tonight. We've got, that's right, boys and girls, the socks cam. I know what you guys are thinking. What is Jay wearing on his feet today? Yep, that's right, boys and girls. Some of the Heathen Squad socks, right, y'all? I never leave home without them. I don't know what any of you guys are doing, but we got Kristen J in the house. Jeff Say, Skrilla DB, Stream Element Bot is running. Let's see if we can get anybody new in here to hit the subscribe button, because that would be a lot of fun. There's little things that pop up on the screen if it's your first time watching a live stream. How about that? That rhymed. Alright guys, looks like everything's working. I've been having a lot of fun, man. I had a fishing trip this last weekend, you guys. Epic trip. But before we get into all that, because I know Jeff's going to be like, story time, story time. I got story time coming, but we're going to get to the point first. Get it? Get to the point. What's a point? You know, we talk about this stuff, fish lingo, fishing lingo, and we talk about this stuff all the time. We're like, hey, you got to fish the points, you got to fish the draws, you're looking for those pockets, and we say things like that, and people are like, what is he talking about? So tonight, you guys, we're going to do something really, really interesting. There's a reason I use that same thumbnail again, and that's because last week when I told you guys, I think we're going to start watching some drone footage, I wasn't kidding, so I went ahead and made some drone footage. You guys ready for this? Let's get into it. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, this is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to watch a fishing trip from somewhere else. We're going to watch it from the drone. And I think that's a really interesting way for me to show you guys what I'm looking at when I'm talking about points. When I talk about pockets, when I talk about draws, when I talk about, oh, this looks fishy, things like that. Yeah, I know, that's pretty neat. You'll see. It's all going to come into play here in just a second, but you guys pay attention to me right now because this is what's important. Okay, when you hear people talking about fishing moving water, I think we all know what moving water is. And I've got another video we're going to watch in a little bit, and it's going to show us a lot of those circumstances where when I say fish the moving water. This one in particular, I wanted to use because of the points. And when I say points and when I say things like pockets and when I say things like, draws, it gets really, really interesting to visually try to picture it in your heads. But at the same time, when you do it from overhead, it's just so much easier, you guys. You just have no idea. And this is how most adventures begin, you guys. I figured I'd just throw some music in there so you can just watch me kind of pull off and stuff. Yeah, like I said, we're going to watch some fishing from a drone. I think that'd be kind of cool. You guys think that's pretty neat? Oh yeah, Kristen J says, cool. Yeah, no, it's pretty sweet. Like I said, I got an even better video coming up here in a little bit, you guys. This is my buddy Steve-O again. We went out and we fished the north side of the Ocklawaha. We ended up having motor troubles. So this trip turned into a trolling motor nightmare. 0 fish were caught on this trip. I'm sorry, I really rephrase that. 1 fish was caught. It was about 5.5 inches. It weighed about 3, maybe 4 ounces if we're lucky. My buddy Steve-O caught that. It was a little rock bass, warmouth, aka golden bass, whatever you want to call it. They're becoming a pretty popular species in some areas in the rivers here, which is interesting. So we'll see if they establish or not. I figured, while I'm just taking my little pause breaks and stuff like that, you guys can sit here for a minute and watch the drone footage. I think it's pretty neat. Like I said, you'll see this gets pretty neat here real quick, you guys. You're gonna enjoy this because we're gonna get a chance to talk about all the stuff that we're gonna visually see it. Unfortunately, because I'm running this as a media source and not as a screen capture, I won't be able to point things out to you guys in a way that you guys can see them because I can only do so much here. See what I mean? Before I disappear. And that's where, see the line? That's the line. That's as far as I can go. I can probably blow that side of the screen up, but I don't know if it'll mess with stuff. All right, guys. So as you guys see right here, my boy Steve-O is turning in to the very first section there. Now, if you take the front of the boat as 12 o'clock, you guys, this will be an easier way for me to explain this. Now, right now, to Steve-O's 9 o'clock, I'm going to pause this. To Steve-O's 9 o'clock right now is what I like to call a pocket. That's an area of vegetation on both the left and the right-hand side, and you notice that the bank impedes, or the vegetation impedes toward the bank. Usually that's where people park their boats, sometimes when there's overflow, but that's what we like to call a pocket. When you see areas like that, which, like I said, front of the boat is 12 o'clock, go to 9 o'clock, for those of you that don't know anything about analog, or go directly up north, up from the guy in the blue shirt, and that's a pocket. Now, what you're going to notice is just about 10, maybe 15 yards ahead of that is another pocket. Now, do we have an established point there, guys? I wouldn't really call it a point. Okay, there's some submerged vegetation, some semi-submerged vegetation in there, and that's an area that I would probably fish a lot. Like, you'll see. We're going to watch, just like I said, we're just going to watch a few minutes of this. It's really kind of neat. I think you guys will enjoy it. Now, if I can tell you guys anything about filming and stuff like I'm going to do a whole episode on this. I really want to sit down and talk to you guys about what goes into this kind of stuff, because I think it's a lot of fun. I'm going to show you guys another video tonight that I've been doing, and I'll just show you how much stuff actually goes into this and how much you can actually work on it. Now, notice how we're approaching real slow. Everything's kind of moving at a slow pace. Like I said, again, we figured we'd troll the motor around in the beginning of the trip just so we could work these couple of pockets that we saw that we know are usually pretty healthy areas, depending on whether or not they have the dam open. Now, one of the things that you guys notice, okay, we're coming up on that second pocket. I still haven't thrown a line, so I haven't tried a single fish out here yet, you guys, and that's not usual for me, because the majority of the time I'm already on this. Back to updates. You really want to make sure that you do updates on all of your equipment, i.e. your GoPros, i.e. your drones, or any of your electronic devices that you're going to take out and try doing stuff like we do with the filming and all that, and the drones and yada yada yada. It gets kind of crazy, but all it will take is one firmware update to ruin your entire day. Now, I did a firmware update on Friday before fishing on this particular Saturday morning, and what was interesting is when you update firmware, it changes all your settings back to the factory restart settings. So you have to remember to save your previous settings and then re-upload those previous settings, which is why I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out why I can't fly this drone, because all of my settings are custom. I put them all custom on my joystick, and now all of a sudden I'm flying in standard mode, which I've never flown in because I changed the settings just the day I got it. I was good to go. I knew exactly what I wanted. I do this kind of stuff pretty often. So, as I was saying, here we come into another one of those pockets. That left and right hand side, you can't fish that center area because that's the lock at the Ocklawaha north and south side of the river. So you can't go much further past that blue sign that you guys see just to the north of, south of my buddy's head there. And then we're going to go past that. Now, what you can fish is this right-hand side here. And what you guys are going to notice is this is like a massive, massive pocket. Now, all this water is constantly moving. So that brings us back to the warm summer days. And how do you want to fish? You want to find moving water. Now, unfortunately, this thing was moving like 2 billion gallons a minute. I mean, I'm not kidding. The south side flooded up like almost 12 or 20 feet, between 12 and 20 feet at any given moment on the other side of this dam that they've got there. This is a big lock system. You hear people in the pros talk about fishing both sides of this river when they're getting in between the Harris Chain Lakes. This connects in on the Harris Chain Lakes. As a matter of fact, it connects in on Lake Griffin. So it's kind of interesting. It's a real neat fishery. It's a real neat fishery. Now, I'm going to speed this up a little bit, guys. Hold on one second. Bear with me. All right, we're going to start it right there. Hold on. All right, here we go. Notice that area that we just transitioned past. You guys saw that, right? That, boys and girls, is a point. That is a massive point. Now, unfortunately, with the flow of the river and the fact that we were fishing this whole time with just a trolling motor, no power poles or nothing like that, as we were coming around this corner, it was really difficult to fish that corner because on the other side of that corner is this, which was rather interesting. And this is where the dam itself was wide open, massive whirlpool. I mean, this thing had the trolling motor on 10 just trying to keep us back from the buoys. You guys will see it here in just a second. My goal with fishing with the drone, this is what I'm trying to do. I know you guys are like, it's gay. It's not. It's kind of cool, okay? I want to catch a fish while the drone's out there. I want to see the whole fight from the drone angles. Like, I think that would be sick cool, you know, especially if it's like running parallel and it just comes back to this, you know, follows the side of the boat as you're bringing in that fish. Oh, that'd be so neat. I could crop and edit that out. Pretty cool. But pockets and points, guys. So this is just a way for me to visually show you guys pockets and points. Now, in just a few seconds, I'm going to show you guys another area of pockets and points in another lake that I fish pretty regularly. And I think it's important for you guys to get the idea of what I'm talking about, because based on where you're fishing, this is going to be a pretty high percentage area because that's pretty much the only point around. And then you've got flowing water on moving water on one side, and then you've got the lock system, which is constantly flowing and moving water in both directions as well. So it's a good place to fish. Didn't work out for us though. You know how that goes. I put the big 0 up on the board, and that's a rough one. Very, very slow fishing day, guys. Very slow fishing day this trip was. I keep having to look up because there's a camera right in front of where this thing is on the screen. There you go. They give you guys a little bit better idea of what's going on right there. This is very fast moving water. You don't realize it, but on the south side of that dam right there, as you guys can see, there is a ton of water moving down that river. It is encompassing trees at this point because there's so much water. Usually that's about 22 feet down on both sides of the bank. You can walk down there. Not this particular day, boys and girls. But my favorite part, I want to show you guys something neat. There's a lot of different ways to bring your drone back down. When you set up your drones, a lot of times, I know this is getting into like a nerdy drone conversation, but I don't care because I like talking about drones. So a lot of times when you set up your drones, the first thing you'll find is that they have a home. It sets up a spot where it took off from, and they're capable of landing on those spots anytime they want. I know the music fits real good to this, huh? They're capable of returning to home and going back to that spot within so many inches or feet, depending on how much you spend on your drone. They're all really neat, though, the good ones. Well, I prefer to just kind of free stick it, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that here right now. Watch this. Now, mind you, there's sensors and all kinds of stuff that go off and do not allow me to do this. So my buddy looks back and he says, "Hey man, do you want me to move?" And I said, "No, but don't worry about it. Just stay right there. Everything will be fine." The whole time this thing's beeping and screaming at me. It's like, "You don't want to land on that. It's not real. It's water." Right there, it fought me. It was like, "No," and I was like, "Yes." It was like, "No," and I was like, "Yes, no, yes, no." Yes. No. This is what I have to deal with. Then I forget to shut the sensors off, and I'm like, oh, okay, shut the sensors off. Down and sit. I nail that stuff. Like, I nail it. This is kind of like a big deal for me because I take this thing off and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. All right. Enough of that one. Let's go to the next one. Hold on. Let me make a change here, guys. Let me go here. That was kind of neat, huh? Did a little drone flying around and stuff. We looked at some points. We looked at some pockets. We saw some draws, some areas that weren't really like points or pockets, but they were elongated areas that went back into, I guess you could think of a cul-de-sac kind of, that's kind of what it reminds me of. All right, guys, let's kick some tunes. I'll load up this next video. Hold on, guys. There's a camera right in front of this thing, and it makes it difficult. The stuff we got to deal with, man. You don't even know. Hold on, I got to make 2 adjustments, guys. All right, you guys. So this was the last trip I just went on Saturday. Who's in the chat? Jeff, if you're still in here, Jeff, make a noise. Say something, Jeff, if you're in here, because it's going to be story time. I think my chat froze. I don't know what's going on. All right, so you guys know who I'm with. You know that's Buddy jumping out on the boat there. This was an adventure. So again, we're back to the drone update issues, right? But nonetheless, I'm going to show you guys. This is a funny situation because I'm just kind of playing with the drone here. Because again, my settings are all jacked up because I did another update on Friday. This is how it ends up being a party when you're out there on the boat and you got this thing in the air and there's just nothing going on that you can do but fly it at that point. Testing, Kristen J, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're on I can see you, Kristen J. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? So this is the world famous Headwaters Lake, guys. This is where it all begins on these big adventures that we go on. You know what I mean? I tried to film a really cool backing up and then have the drone like follow him and do all kinds of neat stuff, and that didn't occur. So I had to just kind of freehand it again. You guys will see that. But I'm going to skip ahead because I want to get back to points. Here, I'll show you this part real quick. I'm sorry, but this is my favorite part of flying drones is takeoffs and landings. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but if you do it right, you can make it look so cool. I think I thought about putting this one down on the back of the boat. We had a lot of fun this day. A lot of fun. Jeff, you ready for story time? All right, here we go. So while this is playing in the background, I'm going to tell you guys story time. So, no shit, there I was, right? Hold on. So, no shit, there I was. And I was about 15 minutes from hitting the lake. And I get a phone call, talking to Buddy. We're talking all the way there. I says, hey, man, best day ever. We're staying positive. Everything's going to be great, you guys. This is going to be the perfect day. You understand? You've never seen anything better than this. I mean, the weather's beautiful. There's no moon. We're talking to each other. Buddy's in such a positive mood. I can feel the positive vibes just radiating off him from miles and miles away, because today's going to be the day, boys and girls, where we break double digits. Yeah, it's me carrying the drone around. I get a little crazy sometimes. I was just carrying it around because I forgot I had it on and recording. I just landed it and was like, oh, I got another software update. Great. Yay, software updates. All right, so we hang up the phone. I'm about 15 minutes out, right? Well, I got news for you. I get a phone call from Buddy like 30 seconds after I hang up the phone. He's like, we got a problem. I said, what? Yeah, man, I think I just lost the rim. I said, what? He said, yeah, the truck just went from like 1,100 to like 3,000 RPMs. I look in the mirror, there's smoke and sparks and shit flying off the back of the truck. I'm on the side of the road right now. Fudge. You know what I'm saying? This is the worst day ever all of a sudden, because we were so going to get there with like the perfect amount of time. The morning bite was going to be fire. Everything was going to go perfectly. I had the drone ready to launch. I'm going to catch all this on drone footage. It's going to be epic. We're going to nail a 10-pounder. I mean, I know personally, I woke up in the morning and I relieved myself of just pure excellence. Like, it was that kind of day. I was like, you know, this is just going to be that day. I'm going to make today a special day. Yeah, so $171 later, I drive a half hour away to get a tire and a rim, because we need both, and then drive back to him to get the tire and rim on. Luckily, Buddy, I'm ready for Buddy to be melting down. You guys, if you guys know Buddy like I know Buddy, he has his moments, as do we all, you know, where you just have to express yourself. You know, it's very important that you get it out. You know, you make sure that people understand you're emotional at that moment. But he's not emotional. He's actually really excited about the day, you know, and he's giving it his all, man. He's doing his best, and he's really positive about it. He's like, this is just a minor setback, man. And I started thinking, you know, who better than to, you know, have to go fishing with this day and have this situation where the tire and the rim are out of commission. And here comes old Beards to the rescue, man. You know, I'm on my way, bud. We'll make it happen. I'm already here. Let's do this. Buddy's in a great mood, right? We get to the lake at 7:30, man. I go straight into drone problems, okay? But the umbrellas worked again. No thermal issues with the cameras, just for a happy moment. Let's just say there was a lot of really good footage that was caught and a lot of really good footage that wasn't caught, because when there's a flat tire, like Oprah Winfrey and Tom Cruise both told us to go home. And we fought it, you understand? We fought Oprah Winfrey and we fought Tom Cruise on this issue, and we kept pushing forward, and nothing. What up, Rod? What are you doing, buddy? I was just telling a little story about the last fishing trip. Okay, so, guys, look at this fishery compared to the river that I was just in. Everywhere you look here is what appears to be straight points and pockets. Okay, points everywhere. There's little points, there's pockets there. Every bit of this grass has got some kind of point or pocket or moving water. Remember, we talked about the importance of moving water. Let me ask you guys something. This looks like moving water, right? Just keep watching. I'll keep telling this story. So we went through this whole ordeal about what you gonna throw, and I'm gonna throw, and this is what I'm gonna hit on, and I was, you know, and you do this, you have all this emotion wrapped up in it, right? And you're really thinking that this is gonna be the day that you're gonna make it happen, and then you get out to the lake. In just a second, guys, this drone's gonna get a little bit higher. And you're going to get a chance to see why we look like we're out in the middle of the lake. Because it kind of looks like we are avoiding all of this stuff, right? Just a second, you're going to see what that really looks like when you're there and you're in the air. Because this has been a really cool experience for me to actually start filming this kind of stuff. Because, like I said, it's a lot different than it seems. Believe that. Seen a dragonfly lure. I know, we just talked about that on Saturday, Rod, because we were watching bass come up and hit dragonflies, man. And I don't know. I got one. It's a little weird. It's kind of gimmicky. We'll check it out in a minute. Maybe one day we'll talk about these odd little lures that never make it. Let me pour a drink. You guys keep watching this. It's pretty neat. It's a neat lake, man. I'm going to start filming a lot more stuff from the drone. I forgot on the other side, you guys aren't seeing it, but anybody that watches the video after is going to see the watermarks on here. I totally forgot that was on here. All right, let's move this forward a little bit, you guys. And just a second, the drone's going to decide to fly off. There it is. All right. Now, you guys see these areas of water that are dead? They kind of look like they're not moving. They're almost glass-like. Those are giant hydrilla mats. Directly underneath that is some of the most lush green vegetation you've ever seen. You're going to notice the areas of ripple water. Those are the moving water areas. You see there's a congested area coming up here on the left-hand side, and you're seeing it now. The only way to get through that is through that little area of moving water that you guys just saw. So this fishery really restricts your ability to move around. I think it's a fantastic fishery, but this place right here is unforgiving. But to give you guys an idea, we open water fish this thing for a while. We tried the grass lines and stuff around these giant mats that you guys are seeing here from what looks like space. Look down there in that bottom left-hand corner. You can see the grass because that's how crystal clear the water is. Fantastic camera on that thing. Fantastic. The filter I might need a little bit more filter for the next time I go. I don't think an ND6 PL is going to do it. I think I might have to go up to like an ND26 because the amount of sun was just absolutely brutal. Hey, thanks, Rod. Yeah, no, I get some really good footage, Rod. I try, man. I'm going to show you guys how I landed this one. This one was interesting because, buddy, the wind started gusting like 20, 25 miles an hour. My drone's telling me I'm in a severe wind area. And then it was a low-flying aircraft that came through, and then I had an altitude restriction. You guys, this is... it's nuts, man. You have no idea how stupid the amount of stuff is that you have to go through just to go out and do something like, hey, I think I'm going to fly my drone around while we're fishing. Well, you better be A, proficient in flying a drone. B, you better be permitted to fly the drone in that area. C, you better know about altitude restrictions. You better know about moving low-flying aircraft in your area. You better make sure that you're not... if you've got trees, that means you've got birds. If I fly this drone like this at my house, it's going to get taken out by an osprey. It's going to be pretty quick. If it flies below 30 foot, there's going to be a bird that's going to come take it out of the sky. I'll promise you that. Now, down there, I don't have to worry about birds because there's no trees. There's really nothing for me to hit. The only thing we got to deal with down there, like I said, is low-flying aircraft. Big Dan, you know, it's real, isn't it, Big Dan? It's real out there. People don't get it, man. They really don't. So needless to say, guys, I don't want to tell you what happened on the trip because that would kind of be like a spoiler alert. But it was not as much fun as we thought it was going to be. Yeah, I don't want to do any FPV, that first person, Rod. I can do it. I just have to buy a set of the first person goggle things. I can do it all day long. I really am experienced with flying a drone. I know it sounds crazy, but I have a lot of experience with flying automated aircrafts. Just trust me on that one. a lot of experience, like way more than a lot of people. As far as the first person drone, nah. I can fly them. I can fly them. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not that difficult. It is difficult when they do that trick stuff. That's pretty neat. I thought that was really, really cool the first couple of times I saw that. But again, not really a drone race guy. I'm more into the cinematography of it. I mean, look at some of these beautiful places we're fishing. This is, all the same trip. I flew, I think, 35 minutes on this one here, which is amazing. Fantastic for, 4K camera. Yeah, in and out of warehouses. Yeah, Rod, they fly them in those old abandoned buildings and stuff, and they go up and down the elevator shafts and pop out in floors. I've seen some of those drone videos. I mean, props, dude. Props to those guys. Mad skills. But guys, look at the target-rich environment. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. But again, look at the vegetation growth. The wrecks, yeah. The vegetation growth up here in this particular lake is just unbelievable. And the water is so crystal clear. If you can find the clear water like this, yeah, it's really a neat thing to film. Really a neat thing to film. This next event, I'm going to show you guys a couple of different angles on this next event. I think you guys get the point. Get it? The point? When I start talking about points now, and I start talking about pockets now, and now making reference to these things when you watch the fishing videos, or when you hear people make reference to that. If you are a fisherman and this is new to you because you've never actually seen a point from an aerial vantage, to where you can say to yourself, okay, now I see what he's talking about. I'm going to work both sides of that. I'm going to work across it. I'm going to make sure that I cover that area really well, because more than likely there's going to be fish in that area. Hey, Scott, what's going on, bud? We're just watching some drone footage, man. We got some music going. We're looking at points today. Yeah, Rod, and you know what, Rod? It's so funny, Rod. You would do well with the frog lures and all that drilla. Yeah, unfortunately, you would have to cast 35, 40 yards back into it, and this stuff's folded over 3-4 foot in some areas. Legit, folded over. So you're talking about a mat that's 18 to 20 inches thick. There's nothing coming through that, bud. There isn't even sunlight coming through that. We had an 18-inch water temperature. Yeah, you like how I did the music to this particular? Yeah, it's okay, guys. I've done this before. We had an 18-inch water temperature reading of 92 degrees, bud. 92 degrees at 18 inches down. So luckily, the water level in the lake was way up. Unfortunately for us, we couldn't get thick enough in those mats. You would have to punch. It would have turned into a punch day. We played the edge of the grass lines. We went to some pits. We went to some deep areas. Unfortunately, there was nothing. There was very few bites. I think we totaled 8 all day, and I know one of them was a gar because it was on me. I mean, take a look at some of those drillamats and waterways. Like I said, it gets really intense down there in that particular area of the lake. One day I'll show you guys where we roll around in that lake. We've already talked about the next shoot. The next fishing trip is going to be a pretty intense shoot, just so you guys know. It's going to be pretty neat. We discussed a lot of different stuff and going back and forth and swapping out footage and stuff, and I think it's going to be kind of exciting for everybody. We'll see what the next trip looks like, but I know it's not going to be doing this. It's more than likely we're going to go peacock fishing. Look how symmetrical that is. Isn't that cool, man? That's such a sick area down there. If I show you guys this on the app, that's one of the things we'll do one day. We'll go through this place on the app, and I'll show you some of the trips we've made, because we have literally devastated this lake. We have been everywhere on this lake. But these little isolated pockets, like this one you see that's just above the mic right there, those things, that's what you're looking for. Those little isolated pockets like that with moving water all around it. You can destroy the edges of that thing. You can destroy the top of that thing. I mean, this is kind of interesting. Watch this, guys. Go with like a space theme. Rod, man, you ever come down, Rod? You can come fishing with us. We'll try to set something up for sure, bud. You've been around for a long, long time. Lake Erie, Great Lakes. I lived on, as funny as that sounds, Rod, I lived on one of the Finger Lakes, the Sacandaga Lake. So I'm familiar with Lake Erie. I'm familiar with the Lake Michigan. I'm familiar with the Sacandaga Finger Lakes up in this Catskill Mountains up there, the Glacier Lakes. That's where I grew up. So, yeah, I fished those, the Mohawk, Niagara rivers, the Niagara Mohawk, the Mohawk River, and all about that. Walleye, yeah. Yeah, but I was young. I didn't really know what I was fishing for. I was just catching fish. You know what I mean? Now, the drone didn't communicate here, guys, or didn't cooperate with me. There was a camera in the way. See my umbrellas? Those things rock, just so we're all clear. I had to move a camera so I could fly it in here, and then it started picking up Outlaw's camera. Look, it just did not want to cooperate. It was like, I'm going away. And I was like, no, you're going to come back down here. Now, meanwhile, the battery's at like 6%, right? Now it's seen his camera, and it's like, no, I'm not landing. And I'm like, yes, please, just land. It's like, no, I'm going to return to home. Return to home was like somewhere like 40 miles away, it feels like, but it was pretty far away. So now I'm trying to land this thing. We're gonna watch this from a different angle. I think you guys will get a kick out of this one. Oh. All right. We'll put the kibosh on that one. Here, we'll watch that from a different angle because I made this. I think you guys will like this. I make little things, you guys. If you don't have me on the other socials, check it out because you never know what I'm going to make. But this is pretty funny. So this is a first-person view, guys. You ready for this? We'll do it. This is that same thing. This is what you guys just saw, that whole non-cooperative drone landing that I did. Yeah, this is it right here in real time. Look at that drill-a-fold, bud. Come on, mother. Notice I turned the drone around. Snatch! That's right. That's right, boys and girls. I will snatch a drone clean out of the air. You guys didn't even see it. Hold on a second. That's awesome. Goodness. All right, you guys just heard that. We're going to watch it again. That was epic. Hold on. Let me redo that. Ha! I'm the man. Transition. Click transition. Nothing on screen. Yeah, thanks, guys. Now, you don't want to grab the front because there's a lot of sensors that'll fly away if you try to do that. So if you're going to grab your drone, grab it from the back and the bottom. Watch. Come on, mother. I cursed. Snatch! And power down. Yes, that'll give you guys an idea. It gets real. Okay, it gets real out there on the lake, players, just so we're all clear on that. The things are not always what they seem. Like, it looks cool when you guys are watching the videos and stuff. Here, I'll show you another one real quick, you guys. You want to watch another one? All right, we'll watch another one. You guys ready for this? Let's do it like this. Hold on. We're going to leave this screen up. We're going to kick this video off. Boop. And we're going to go... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here you go. Here, guys, watch this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tackle Talk. And today we're going to be throwing the Ganderel and the Ganderel Jr. in the pool and looking at it from a lot of different angles.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you.
Does that thing not make you want to bite it?
Feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know.
Look at that.
Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know.
Yeah, I got the drone flying in the backyard.
Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show.
I'm in Leesburg, Scott.
These things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn
Look at all the cameras in the water.
my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know.
Look at that thing turning a circle.
Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love.
Watch the reel retrieve, guys. Look at the reel retrieves. Small, pausey, unsubtle, you know, off cadence. Remember we talked about that, jerky, twitchy? Yeah, so that's what I do, guys. I sit around and build stuff like that. Yeah, drone shadow looks like a bass. You guys see the, that was off the hook. That was pretty cool, wasn't it, Kristen J? That was neat. Oh, no kidding, Scott. Punta Gorda, huh? Nice. I don't know where that is. It's probably not far from me. I'm in the middle of the state, both ways, in the middle. There was my son's got like a torpedo shark, and I originally positioned a camera down at the bottom of the pool. Pro tip, just so anybody wants to know, regardless of how much money you spend on, Kristen, hey, off the hook, what's up, bud? Regardless of how much money you spend on GoPro remote controls, they do not work under the water. They don't. Once the GoPro goes under the water, it doesn't matter whether it's an inch, 2 inches, the remote loses it every time. So, I'll tell you guys a funny story. I had to position a GoPro at the deep end of the pool, which was not easy. I tried several hundred different times in different manners, using different devices and sticks and poles and tape and all kinds of rubber bands and things that I could use to cut through once I positioned the camera, and every time it just fell. So I put that big shark down there with the camera on it and then made the camera float, and I was like, I nailed it, and I grabbed the remote, right? West Coast Stream 4. Nice, Scott. I hit the button on the remote to start recording, and it lost connection. So I had to scoop it out with the net and then get it again and then turn it on and then try to get it back down to the pool bottom of the pool in the same position. And basically it floated off. It just floated up from the shark. So I was like, forget it. So I just positioned it in the shallow end and like reached my arm down there, and I was covered. I was water all over. It was such a nightmare. I filmed like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes for that little segment you just saw. There's another bait. I show you guys another bait. I got to do voiceover. It'll cut the music out and stuff like that. So there'll be little music kicking in, and then background, I'll duck it in there real nice. I'm going to do a little voiceover and stuff, talk to you guys a little bit about the bait. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to start shooting. I told you guys I was going to do some clear water stuff, you know, once I get a little bit of time in the pool and everything. And it's coming to that time of the year. I'll fly the drone around and stuff like that and get some real cool footage to show you guys a lot of different baits and the things that I talk to you guys when I talk to you about the waggle and stuff like that. All of that stuff's really important, and to be able to visualize it is a totally different animal. And like I said, I think I found 3 or 4 or 5 different angles that I liked around the pool. I think that looked kind of cool. I think I can set up a pretty cool little instructional video or a little how-to video on using those particular baits. So I think you guys are going to find that a little bit interesting. I hope you do. I did. I found it interesting making that. I haven't made anything like that before, so I thought that was kind of cool. So making silly little videos and stuff is pretty much just the majority of the day the last couple of days, guys. I've been trying to get a couple of videos out. Like I said, I've been hitting a lot of YouTube stuff, some shorts and things like that. You know, playing a lot in the shorts, trying to get some views. You know how that goes, and see what happens. I'm looking for something. I was going to show you guys something else, but I don't think I finished it. I probably didn't. Yeah, I didn't finish it, so I'm not even going to attempt to mess with that anymore. Let me close that up. All right. Yeah, guys, instructional and educational. Yeah, Rod, that's what it's about. Like I said, I'm trying to make it something to watch that'll just kind of get cycled around in the old YouTube, so to speak, and move around in there and maybe in the tactical bassin style format, which I think that's a pretty good format. I mean, if you're going to learn something, that's a pretty good way to learn it. I kind of made it fun. I put like some 240 slowdown frames in there and stuff, and it made it a little bit interesting through some music, and I think it's a good take on a bait. I'll try a bunch of different baits. We're going to get some underwater sound stuff here real shortly. Like I was telling you guys, I want to do some sound stuff so you can hear these different baits under the water. I think that's an interesting thing for anybody, really. You never know. I mean, it all comes down to sometimes it's just a tone issue and just a simple change of a tone, but having actually heard it before, having watched that bait perform, having witnessed someone working that bait, and then having seen that bait from several different angles, you'll know, okay, I see the fish are keying in on this. Okay, I use this bait because this tone and this is how I pull them, and this is the area that I work in. And hopefully all this stuff will give you guys, you know, a little leg up when it comes to fishing with your buddies. You know, you don't ever want to go to the lake to hurt your buddy's feelings, but you don't want to take the skunk. As hard as you try, you don't want to take the skunk. So if you're fishing with your buddies, you know, you got to kind of do it sometimes. You got to just catch fish, you know. Just go out there to have a good time. Just go out there to have a good time, guys. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. It's been a good time. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget, hit the button, do your stuff. I can tell you what to do because most of the time YouTube doesn't tell anybody I'm on anyway, so that's always fun. So, again, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you guys on the next one.